been a while, so I wanted to take a look at these two here. Whoa. I don't know if that picked up on the mic or anything, but that was terrifying. Did you guys hear that? There's like a giant explosion that happened. Hold up, give me a sec. All right, problem solved. The weird thumping noise or so was apparently some explosion or so. Caillou in 4K, kidding? What are you talking about? Anyways, apparently there's some shit that's been happening in France, and also there's some shit happening in California as well. So let's take a look what's been happening over there in France, shall we? What's been going on?
Paris Saint-Germain wins.
What the fuck is happening in France? What the hell is going on over there? Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Their first Champions League title, but then their fans immediately take over the streets, not only starting fires, but blocking firefighters from stopping them, then breaking in and looting sneaker stores, clashing with over 5,400 French police, as their news media covered it as PSG fans tearing apart Paris. I don't know.
PSG? What's a PSG? PSG defeats Inter Milan in UEFA Champions League finals? Wait, they got this crazy over a stupid game? All this for a fucking game? Bruh. Nah, I've never seen such retardation in my entire life, to be honest.
Their news media covered it as PSG fans tearing apart Paris. I don't know about you, but I saw very few PSG fans rioting in the streets, as it seemed to be more of those EBT tribes that we also see in the States. As even before PSG defeated Inter Milan, they already boarded up their team store, with nearby designer locations following suit, as everybody pretty much knew riots would ensue, and even before they won the title.
What? Wait, you're telling me people have to prepare themselves for this? Man, this is some dumbass behaviory, to be honest.
Title 5-0 fans en masse started to storm the streets.
Why? What's the point of this?
But then the group appeared to be not in jerseys or even soccer apparel, so the police rightfully attempted to disperse the crowds. And take notice how early in the day this is.
What the fuck?
As they quickly deployed their riot police into the city.
Can't do it. I can't make this shit before, man.
This is just in the middle of the day as well. This is very room temperature IQ.
So you would think they would be able to control the streets from there, but this being Paris, France, you knew their riots would quickly spin out of control, as even before the sun went down, they started fires.
What the fuck?
Where the rioters tried to break police barricades, but were met with water cannons. It It's almost like they know how to quickly quell the riots, but just don't have the stomach to follow through with it. As well into the evening, the entire
What
city
the
was put to a standstill.
Holy shit, dude. Viva la revolution. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Holy shit, dude. My god, dude.
As the soccer fans began looting random stores.
Wait, so, really? This is it's just from a game, from a fucking physical activity sport game.
Even breaking
No worries,
into
Brooklyn.
makeup boutiques.
What? Why?
And looting their local sneaker store.
What the
But don't worry, guys. The bookstore right across the street was safe. Interesting how it's always the sneaker stores and not the libraries, which really makes me wonder if they even bother to board up their books, knowing this strange phenomenon about riots that transcends cultures, language, and even continents. But then these riots got serious.
Holy shit, dude.
Where they gleefully burned several cars to celebrate a soccer championship, even burning piles of trash while grunting in unison.
What the fuck?
To make matters worse, they also opened up the fire extinguishers to play in.
Man, you must be really bored in order for you to do these things, to be honest. This could also be people who use the football game as an excuse to riot and not actual football fans. Yeah, you know what? You could be right, actually, to be honest. Look at this person. Oh, look what this person has on their back right now. Look at this. You see that, chat? I wonder what flag this is right here, you know? I've seen these colors before. This one right here.
Then grunting the same sound to stop the firefighters from putting out their fires. And even this guy was attacking a firefighter, wrapped in a flag that definitely is not France's flag, or even PSG. I really don't know if you can consider France the first world anymore, as civilized people don't
Damn, France used to be like that one cool place where a lot of people want to visit now, but now it's not even looking like that, to be honest.
Dismantle their own emergency services to celebrate that their team kicks a ball better than your team. As what does blocking your own streets and tossing trash at the cops have to do with celebrating soccer? As sure, I can see about 3 PSG jerseys and 1 flag for the team.
Jesus Christ, what the
But the actual attackers, rolling trash out in the streets and throwing bottles at the cops, are dressed in traditional black bloc like rioters from every other event. But when the riot cops finally stopped them, they got pretty direct. I believe this is from Clement
What
Leno
the
from
hell?
CL Press, and I love how he saw that cop bop that protester across his face, but quickly just turned his camera away. As you know, if this occurred in the US, most of
True,
our journalists
you're not
would
wrong,
start
Kaz.
screeching in support of the idiots destroying the city, as this isn't the innocent soccer celebration the media will portray it as. Because there's now reports of vehicles running into the crowds, or it's hard to confirm what actually happened and who it happened to. But looking at the Daily Mail's reporting about the savage PSG fans burning the city, they reported the interior minister stated PSG fans were excited, but barbarians took to the streets to loot random sports stores and furniture stores, but also a car plowed into the crowd of fans. And that is the tragic status of today's reality. where you can't even celebrate a soccer victory without your stores being looted, cars getting set on fire, or possibly be run over. Because earlier in the day, when they already knew riots would ensue, the police pretty much refused to strike these rioters down before they could get to the point of running over fans, as apparently they eventually deployed 5,400 coppers, even briefly utilizing their water cannons. So why wouldn't they quickly round up and immediately jail anybody causing a disruption right after the match? Because you only get these mass riots of non-PSG fans when they see on social media how easy the police are going on them. But sadly, this isn't exclusive to soccer or even France, as I lived in Los Angeles long enough to see the Dodger Championship riots.
What the whoa, wait, what the hell?
As I lived
Oh my god, dude. Man, you guys take fucking sports literally on like a different level for no apparent reason. Like seriously, like there's just no reason for this to happen. I don't know, maybe I'm just the only one. I don't know, maybe I'm just a normal person, you know? I'm like, it's cool that your team won and everything, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go to the street and burn a fucking bus.
Lived in Los Angeles long enough to see the Dodger Championship riots, the Laker Championship riots on several occasions, and the LA Clipper, well, I guess we never have to worry about that. Why is it that some sports teams can win rings, and even though their city expects a bit of unrest, it's largely civilized comparatively? Is it because the Boston Celtics have a classier fan base than the Lakers? I'm not going to speculate too deeply on that, as I bleed green and I couldn't possibly be impartial. The point being is, I'm wearing this PSG beanie. Not because I'm a fan, but because a while back I randomly got this for Christmas. So me wearing this hat proves I'm a PSG fan as much as all those rioters using a sports game to loot and burn the city. So why is it that their mainstream media can't quite figure that out, as their headlines seem to hide exactly who was rioting? Why doom scroll on social media all day?
God, that's crazy, to be honest. And that's not even it too as well, because I want to take a look at the LA. Apparently something is happening in California right now, apparently.
This scene from San Diego doesn't even look like America anymore, but it's exactly what I voted for, as ICE conducted a surprise raid on
What the fuck? Holy, oh my god, Jesus Christ.
a restaurant in San Diego, with the residents getting very upset. Even trying to block the cop's car.
Wow! Great!
What? You know what? You want to know what's going on here too as well? I'm gonna agree what Asmongold is saying here. Look at this.
Wow!
1, 2, 3. It's just white women. They're not even Mexican. It's just a bunch of white women. Is it because they're trying to protect Jose? Because Jose is the gardener and they chop and they cut their leaves and their grass and everything. And if they arrest Jose, they're gonna have to do their own manual work now. Is that the reason why? Is that the reason why they don't want, you know, ICE to come over there? Because they don't want Jose to be arrested and sent back to Mexico? Jose is also packing.
Great!
What a bunch of random people. These people are so retarded, dude.
Loud bangs and smoke filled the air as stun grenades exploded on the streets of South Park. U.S. immigration filled the air as stun grenades exploded.
Fucking this dude just. Hey yo, hey yo, whose dad is this? Yo, you gotta get your dad back in the house, man. He's gotta be on his meds or so, you know? Yo, who let Paul out on the street, man? He just okay. All right, man. That's fucking crazy. Hey, Nolan.
Exploded on the streets of South Park. U.S.
Lumphao. Yes. Would you like me to spell it? L-M-F-A-O.
Oh, it's not a name.
We have to live in
He's
a
hacker. He's a
simulation,
Chinese hacker.
bro.
Lumphao.
The
He's working for the
funniest thing
Koreans,
about this, right?
Smoke filled the air as stun grenades exploded.
This guy right here can vote.
What about the F though?
That's the craziest thing. This guy right here can vote for your guys' next president.
F-A-O. Lumphao.
No.
Is that his brother?
No, you can even use it without.
Honestly, craziest thing in my personal opinion.
His sister.
No.
Now we know that Lumphao is actually working with two other people, Limao and Limbao.
No.
Exploded on the streets of South Park. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents using the devices to scatter the crowd of people blocking their cars and cussing at agents. General Manager Renato Amatrano says agents provided a warrant and scanned everyone's IDs. He believes 3 employees could not provide identification and were taken away.
So contrary to what they want you to think, they aren't just shaking down random brown people in the streets. It seems they're going after
That was a
specific
mouth clip.
criminals that haven't
Yeah.
turned themselves in, then collecting anybody also undocumented that they discover collaterally. But this also exposes their boss for knowingly employing them and potentially others, as the Trump administration has already handed out millions of dollars of fines for. So someone with a warrant could have used the CBP app to self-deport, get a free ride home, and receive $1,000. But instead, they'll send a couple of their friends home with them. But when the local news outlets report on it, the outrage only seemed to face ICE. As they called it, people in military tactical gear playing like they're in Afghanistan, just screwing with people on a nice Friday. Although they did indeed detain 2 of the workers, and the restaurant couldn't open for dinner after. So maybe there was a reason they went after that specific restaurant, but they conveniently made that the smallest part of their report. So now more of these fools are contributing
I
to the
need a new
problem.
GPU.
Listened to the ICE raid in San Diego at the Italian restaurant, where they took the manager and the workers, and the people stepped up and surrounded ICE, which was great because they did not show a warrant to anybody.
General Manager Renato Amatrano says agents provided a warrant and scanned everyone's IDs.
Got me thinking,
Bruh.
we need to start carrying wire cutters. Here are wire cutters in our pocket. Doesn't take up much room. Yeah, you could use them for zip ties, but you can also use them for valve stems on.
So this guy is promoting actual harm to other people. That's crazy. That's absurd, to be honest.
Vehicle tires.
I really believe he thinks he's some sort of crafty freedom fighter, but I'm pretty certain he just committed a felony. As hyper-left Reddit also went in on the situation, writing long mod posts complaining about how many resources went into this, saying, if it can happen to us, it can happen to you. Again, more fear-mongering trying to rally their base into action, as there were plenty of posts thanking the people blocking the cops. But then an awful lot of body shaming, talking about them being the Navy SEALs, which is rich coming from Reddit, as they're likely singling out this specific copper who is admittedly large, but more of a lineman build than anything. As if I was assembling a squad, I'd take him over any of these idiots screeching with their phones out. Just because the police show restraint doesn't mean they're afraid, but now they're pounding on their chests as if they actually accomplish anything other than increasing the amount of police resources that will be spent on the next raid. As all across the country, work sites like the one in Florida are being raided
No, not Juan! Don't take Juan! I need him to make my tacos for next week. Oh no, they're taking Juan back to Mexico, chat. Oh shit, this is disappointing, man. Who's gonna make my birria tacos now, man? Who? No! No!
as well.
My birria tacos!
With the local Florida outlets doing montages of women crying.
Correa could not hold
They're
back.
doing a montage. You know what's missing? You know what's missing in this montage or so? Let me see. Hold on. Here. I'm gonna do this real quick. This is what's like. This is what's basically kind of like missing or so. Let me see. Where is it at? Where the fuck is it at? Oh fuck, I don't know what's it called or so. I really don't remember. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? No, it's not that one. You guys know exactly which one I'm talking about. I forgot the name of the fucking song already, but like just insert it, you know, just insert all these memes too as well, you know. Yeah, here we go. You know, here we go, chat watch. you just gotta put it in there, man. You're just gonna need to, like, you know, just put it in there in the background or so, and then that's all you gotta do, you know.
Her pain. She screams
Your mom too as well.
injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami. Immigration court attorney Antonio Ramos tells us this is now the new normal.
What I have been seeing is, out of the few people, most of them, they have crimes, previous crimes.
Where this man's wife also got detained, which is an incredibly sad scene. But kinda deranged how Twitter users shoved the camera in the
The husband watches as ICE arrests his wife at an immigration appointment. When you lose your compassion for those in need. When you cast aside your capacity to care, when the qualities that once allowed you to rise above the virtues that once made you human are gone.
husband's face, with Reddit highlighting how the kid was crying. They really think if we see something sad enough, the country's just gonna forget it has laws. But after the Maryland man fiasco turning out to be a dangerous gang member, the general public doesn't know what to believe anymore, and the montages of crying families just feels manipulative. As this is—
yeah, because at the same time, you came in to the country illegally. You already broke the law. So it's kind of like, it's not rocket science, bro. I have like no emotion for this whatsoever, you know? I'm like, let's say for example, like my uncle, right? Yogg-Sothoth, right? Came here illegally, right? But then they have to send him back, right? You know? And be like, well, tough shit, man. No, Yogg-Sothoth. So, you know, if my uncle Yogg-Sothoth is like, you know, gets sent back, you know, it's not a big deal at the end of the day, you know? So I can still go visit him, so. Well, not anymore anyways. I have to go back to the Void or so for that. But it'll take many years. True, they could have learned the language or so and, like, you know, do the citizenship test, get a green card, and then do all the other stuff, you know? So they had plenty of time, you know?
the same exact ploy they tried to use back in 2019 when they cried outside empty cages in a white suit, but said absolutely nothing about the hundreds of thousands of missing kids during the Biden administration, where even when the reporting tried to downplay the story, they admitted the missing kids are at risk. They just can't suggest that all the missing kids are in danger. So good to know they have a certain percentage of acceptable losses that only exists when Trump isn't in office. But now that he is, once he tries to fix it, Places like New York City will also try to block ICE.
You will be placed under arrest and charged with disorderly conduct.
It's wait, are they saying free Palestine? Wait, hold up.
Try to block ICE.
You will be placed under arrest and charged with disorderly conduct. This is the New York City Police Department.
Oh, never mind. It just says free them now. It's literally just a bunch of white people, bro. Straight up, dude. It's just a bunch of white people. Man, dude. It's just literally, it's just straight up just a bunch of white people just constantly just doing this, you know?
You are unlawfully in the roadway. Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct.
And in Boston, people are bragging about
In
stopping
Boston, fucking Boston.
them on social media.
Remember, you are the major power in your community. If you show up with people you trust quickly, you can protect kids, you can protect families. So
Well, you mean protect what protect the actual people who are, you know, who abused their wives, murdered someone's daughter, and like, you know, well, you want to protect those kinds of people? Man, that sure is a hill to die on, all right? You know, if you want to die on that hill, that's fine by me, bro. We can, you know, we can send these people as well with them, you know? They can go live over there, you know? I'm just saying, I've heard some of the stories or so what some of these illegal migrants have done, you know? They sexual harassed, minors, sex trafficking. You know, someone's daughter died or so, and they were also sexually assaulted while, they were dead basically. You know, so it's just like, is that what you're trying to defend? That's crazy, bro. I'm like, shit. Hey man, you do you, bro. I'm like, for me personally, I'd rather be able to walk out at nighttime without any problems, you know, or having a jog or something and not having to watch my back every single time of some crazy fucking, migrant or so pulling up on me, you know. I don't want that, personally.
information networks know where ICE is in your community and show up. They will just leave. They are not brave enough to steal kids when an entire community comes around to protect them.
Not even aware who they are protecting.
ICE says they were
There was a time that my sister lived in Maryland area, but that was before the Biden took office.
Surveilling a murderer's home in their car when a crowd surrounded their vehicle, blew their cover, and they had to pull off the target. Again, a murderer.
Wow.
This is when
That's so
identity
stupid.
politics gets dangerous. Assuming police are always bad and their targets are always good is something only criminals and people that blissfully think they'll never be victimized will believe. So where exactly are they getting this idiotic ideology? From their political leaders, like this Tennessee state representative.
This is great. We've got our girl squad and we're bullying the ICE vehicles and state troopers. So this is a win.
They should just arrest these people, in my personal opinion. I think what Donald Trump should do or so, if you harass or, you involuntary, like, get in their detective work or their work of line or so, they should just arrest them. Like, just no questions asked, just arrest them, you know? They're basically like causing an issue with an investigation, you know? They're trying to investigate on people and then they're causing a ruckus or so on this investigation. Yeah, because they could probably like arrest them for, assisting a criminal, as in like straight up like trying to like assist a killer or something, like obstruction of justice. Yeah, that, they're trying to do justice work, they're trying to do investigations and everything and trying to arrest the right people. But if you're going to be, an obstruction for it, just arrest them at the end of the day. But that's just my personal opinion though.
Blonde state rep. So they're probably
And it's just another white woman too as well. It's literally straight up just white women doing this.
Information.
But even Congress people in New Jersey are doing the same. where apparently she even shoved an ICE officer.
Oh yeah,
but
I
now
saw this one,
is
yeah.
being charged for assault. And even Congressman Nadler's staffer was seen being arrested for allegedly harboring someone. So I really wonder how long they'll gleefully display their defiance when their friends all start getting jail sentences. As it sounds scary that this administration would start throwing politicians in prison, but they brought it upon themselves when they actually convicted Trump of several felonies. But why exactly are they so desperately defending this, knowing the majority of Americans voted for Trump specifically for his border policies? As Congress in Burleson shows us, it's probably money.
California figured this out, that they can force the federal government to spend $9 for every $1 that it spends, and they're using it to launder money. They raise taxes on managed care companies, the companies that are providing Medicaid. So they go to these companies and say, we're gonna tax you, but don't worry, we're gonna give you all of the money that we just taxed you right back. And we're gonna pull down federal dollars, and that'll let us have more money so that we can spend it on expanding the population for Medicaid and spend it on illegal immigrants. In fact, is spending more money in federal dollars in California that we send in federal dollars than the entire state of Florida spends in 1 year in their entire annual budget.
So they're basically scamming. They're scamming everybody. Damn, California is a complete shit show, isn't it, huh? Hey, Vinky. Damn, dude. Trump really has his work cut out for him, having to deal with these people on top of other Yeah, yep. You know, I think in my personal opinion, chat, you know what they should do? They should cut California into like 4 pieces. Cut California in 4 pieces and have 4 different representatives, and that's it.
I'm starting to see a common theme here. Once the Democrats find an issue that the masses have more emotions about than they have knowledge about, they frame themselves as the only solution, taking unlimited amounts of tax dollars for themselves without ever solving
Cut it off
the issue.
the map.
Now,
Well, they did say in many years or so, California will drift off to be an island. So when that happens or so, right? California's on their own.
apply that same equation to green initiatives,
We'll see how long they'll survive by
education,
themselves.
overseas conflicts, and now immigration, and suddenly their inconsistent ethics all start to make sense. Don't doom scroll on social media.
Yeah, that's crazy, to be honest. Honestly, why don't we just push it elsewhere? Because it's impossible. We can't push it. That's just too many. That's just too many immigrants to push it. You know. Let California succeed, see how it does on its own, and bring the Alberta, Canada as the 50th state. Alberta is great. Honestly, crazy. Hey man, it's whatever, man. I think I personally think California is like, no hate to my Californian, fan base, right? But I think California is an entire shit show, though. Like the high rents, the high of everything over there, everything being expensive. Then you got these crazy people in there doing this crazy shenanigans. Trump is trying to clean up the U.S. because someone cough Biden messed up with this shit all up. We're spending money on stupid crap and we don't even need to. Yeah. Like that's like the only problem. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. I'm still sick, but we're kind of getting out of it though. Make sure you say bye to the YouTube frogs, of course. I'm feeling a lot more better now though, so I have a little bit more energy compared to the previous videos I recorded. So we're kind of getting out of sickness, but unfortunately, the sickness also messes up with my vocal cords. So for me, I sound different. Like for me, I know for a fact I sound different. So that's pretty much about it. Pussy YouTube frogs. Shut up. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.